Good morning. Buenos dias. Bonjour. Glad to have you with us this morning. It's a Tuesday on Cincy Lifestyle, Mona.
You know what? I did not know that you knew so many languages, Clyde. You know, we'll have to talk about that later.
I left Japanese and Chinese off. I just didn't want to show off.
Okay. All right. Well, good morning. I'm so glad that everybody's joining us today. We got a really good show for you today. So you'll learn a lot. In fact, you're going to learn a lot right off the top. Isn't that right, Clyde?
Absolutely. So we're talking about language a little bit this morning, languages, but we're going to talk about our language, English, and some of the stuff that, quite frankly, is just kind of out of date, because it turns out a lot of the stuff we say day to day is outdated, and you need go no further than Reddit, where its users compiled a list of phrases that we use that no longer accurately reflect the action in our lives. And here are just a few of them. Filming. Well, film is rarely used anymore, Mona, because folks are using digital cameras. Here's another one for you. Peanut gallery.
Let me interrupt that one, Clyde, because I not only use filming still, I use taping. I always say, you know, I got to tape a show, and we don't use tape anymore either. So you got to kind of change it to now. Try to say record. We record a show. So yeah, I'm still stuck on that one.
Well, look, how about Peanut Gallery? Is that one you're stuck on? Because that one goes back to the good old days of vaudeville, where the cheap seats were, and people would sometimes heckle the folks on stage by throwing peanuts at them. So Peanut Gallery is another one. Can you think of any others?
You know, one of my favorites is dialing you up. You know, I still use dialing when it comes to a phone. I still use that word. And you know, back in the day, we did have to dial the phone, the rotary phones. But I remember when we got the first push button phone. Our families were one of the first in the neighborhood to get a push button phone. It was great. It was great.
Well, how about roll up the window? I mean, in a car, does anybody anymore roll up a window? It's hard to find.
I don't think so. It really is. It's hard to find. And you know what? If any car did, it would be mine. My car's 20 years old, but I still have electric windows. So, yep. But I still say roll up the window.
And right quick, Mona, here are a couple of things I have done on this show, like within the last 6 months. Stay tuned. That's one. Who does that anymore? And don't touch that dial. I did that, and my good buddy Wags over here looked at me like, have you lost your mind? Nobody has a dial anymore, so it's like, now, don't touch that remote.
That's right. That's right. We catch up.
Yep.
We catch up. We're catching up, Clyde, okay? We're catching up to the times.
Slowly but surely.
But you know what? Slowly but surely. That's right. But you know, we're moving on now, and it may be nicknamed the sport of kings. But Clyde, anyone can play, and our Cincinnati Polo Club is here to teach us how to get up on that high horse and learn the game. And Allie took a trip out to Batavia to see what it's all about. Allie.
There's one more. So polo is very simply riding a horse and hitting a ball through two uprights. That's it in a nutshell.
The Cincinnati Polo Club is here to teach you how to play the game. From riding to learning the swing and the rules and how to work with the horses, polo isn't just a game for kings.
Unlike any other sport in that it's a team sport, so you have the camaraderie with all of your teammates. You also have that same relationship with your horse. Oh, but wait a minute, you're going to have 2, maybe 4. In the really upper levels of polo, you may go to polo with 6 or 8 horses to the field. So you have that. Then you have the relationship with the teams that you play and their horses. And you ride so many different horses, and you get the feel for them and develop those relationships. It's pretty amazing.
And even if you have no riding experience, the Cincinnati Polo Club is a good place to start. They offer a range of classes and have worked with riders from the age of 13 to 74, so all are welcome.
So the classes are open to anybody. Usually we say 14 or 15 and above, but we've taught younger. You sort of have to have enough strength to hold the mallet. It's a 52-inch mallet, so it's sort of heavy at times. Helpful to have riding experience, but not always necessary, but much preferred. And anyone can come. We do group lessons like we are now. We have done private group lessons for like a barn where they brought all of their girls in and they had fun learning how to play polo. We can do private lessons one-on-one. You can start from scratch, or maybe you have played in the past and you just want to brush up on your skills.
The best part, the Cincinnati Polo Club also competes. So once you've gone through training and practice, there are opportunities to travel with the team and get a true feel for the sport.
Okay, so he walks up here.
So walk up here,
and you
walk
come
with
up,
them, hook.
and you hook.
Yep.
And
And
you
they
guys
keep
have to-
going.
you got to keep going. There's no
There's
stopping.
no stopping
And
in
then
polo,
Rich is
and then you
behind
guys
you,
are next.
and he comes through, and
Good hook. Stay with him, Tyler. Stay with him.
And yes, it may seem a little intimidating at first, but don't let the polo nickname Sport of Kings fool you.
I think that they think that polo is for the very elite, and it's extremely expensive. And it can be in the very top levels. You know, if you're going to go to the polo field with a string of 8 horses for each player, yes, that's expensive. But in our club here, we have some players that don't even have a horse. They'll lease a horse. Other players have 1 horse, and they play half a game. And then we have players that have 2, 3, 4 horses, you know, so they can play a full game. So it can be as inexpensive as you want it to be, and it can be as expensive. But the most important thing is that we have fun. And fun and safety are the top 2 things for us, both for the horse and for the players.
Wow, we want to welcome Allie into the conversation. Hey, Allie, you know, polo actually looks kind of fun. Were you able to get on a horse?
I got on actually the fake horse, believe it or not. So I have to admit, anytime that I get to go out on a shoot, and Mona and Clyde, I still say film, and work with animals, and also get to play and be involved with a sport and competitive nature, it's always really fun. So what was cool is that if you don't, as I said, if you don't know how to ride a horse, they will train you. It's ideal if you've been on one before, but they have that fake horse that they'll get you up on, and they'll teach you, you know, how to position your feet and the turning with the mallet and how you twist your hips. So that was the most action with the horse that I was able to see, but it was a good feel of what it's like to be up there and to swing the mallet.
So, Allie, how much training do you need before you can actually get up there and participate in what's the word, round, a chukker?
A match, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's a good question, but it really depends on how you pick up the game, right? So 80% of the game is actually goes down to the horse. So a lot of that is, number one, training of the horse. So learning how they maneuver them and how they train them, and the fact that eventually they'll understand where the ball is. They'll understand when they hear the mallet hit the ball, as well as the refs blowing the whistle. So 80% is the horse, 20% is you, but you have to be able to combine the two. So it really just depends on how well you pick it up. It could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple months.
So right quick, I got to have a horse who's smarter at the game than me.
Wilbur.
Which is not going to be hard to find.
You know, I can't guarantee that, but I'm sure there's a perfect horse out there for you, Clyde. The Clydesdale.
Allie,
Oh my goodness.
A Clydesdale, yes, yes.
We're on to something.
Wow.
And I would highly
Allie,
recommend
can you
checking them out at cincinnatipolo.com.
All right, thank you so much, Allie. We appreciate it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about animals and weather, that sort of thing. With more hot, humid days in our forecast, it's important to keep cool and monitor your health. Now, this isn't just true for people, but for pets as well. Question is, how do you know when your 4-legged friend can't handle the heat? Now, for that, we turned to an expert. Joining us now is Joel Silverman, celebrity pet trainer and host of Good Dog U on Animal Planet. Joel, welcome back. Glad to have you.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Indeed, indeed. So let's cut to the chase. How can you tell when your pet, and particularly, let's say your dog, is overheating?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with you. You got to really be aware of the temperature and aware of a lot of things. And just a few things I just want to give a few tips to the viewers. Number one is obviously as you get into summer, as you get into the warmer months, you really want to be aware of first of all, be aware of the temperature. And as the first thing we do is when you take your dog for a walk, you want to be aware of the cement, and just take the palm of your hand, put the palm of your hand on the cement. And sometimes you might think that everything is okay, that that's not, it's it's okay for you. But as you put the palm of your hand there, if it feels hot enough to where you can't keep the palm of your hand there, it's going to be too hot for your dog's pad. And it was the weirdest thing, because we were in South Lake Tahoe. I live in Reno. We were in South Lake Tahoe, and somebody had a dog out, and it was really, really hot out there, and the dog was just dancing, out there, and these people had no idea that the dog was hot, and they'd gotten in the motorhome out and they took off. But I was going to say something. I was like, hey, your dog, you got to be aware of that. And so that's the one main thing. The other thing too is, as far as your water dishes are concerned, especially your dishes, your food dish and the water dish, but primarily that water dish. Remember that the sun changes, and it's going to be. Sorry about that. These things keep coming out. These based on the sun, the sun changes throughout the summer, and so a water dish that wasn't in the sun at certain times of the summer might be in the sun, and once it gets in the sun, it gets hot, and the dog cannot drink the water. So you really want to pay attention to that water dish as well. Yeah. Those are the types of things. Working with your dog, training your dog. I just recommend, inside the house. I think that's always a good thing too. Sure.
Let me ask this about the length of walks. How important is that?
The length of walks is huge. I mean, I tell people that you still need to make sure that you're walking with your dog. And that means if it starts off a little bit earlier in the morning before it gets too hot, that's great. So if you're walking with your dog 3 times a day, and you're walking with your dog a total of maybe an hour and a half a day with your dog, just, if it used to be during the spring or fall where you were walking with your dog, during the day, you might need to just go a little earlier in the morning, a little later at night. Mm-hmm. Later in the evening, when things cool down. But as I said, the good thing is take the palm of your hand, put your palm of your hand on the ground, check things out, make sure that, and always make sure also, I tell people all the time, as far as training your dog, you know the story, positive reinforcement, using treats. I've been using Bill Jack treats for many years, feeding the food and stuff like that. And so you want to make sure you use something that really, really motivates the dog, something that's healthy as well.
All right, let's help folks get more of your wisdom and knowledge on this subject. Where can they get in touch with you?
They can always go to billjack.com, BIL-JAC.com, and you can get more information on, there's a lot of videos and things like that, information on the treats, information on the food as well. You can also go to my website, which is joelsilverman.net. My new book, Rituals, is coming out within the next couple days as well, my 5th book as well, and get more information there. We have dog trainer certification courses, but that's where you get in touch with me.
All right. Joel, thank you so much for talking to us.
Clyde, thanks for having me. Take care.
Yes, sir. Mona?
Well, have you been looking for a way that you can reduce the number of plastic products in your home? Well, coming up here on Cincy Lifestyle, a local blogger and social media influencer will give us some guidance on how to make your home more sustainable and eco-friendly. Then, if you're looking for ideas when it comes to date night in, we've got the perfect evening. Local saxophone player Ed Thomas is hosting free virtual concerts. We'll give you all the details and how and when you can catch these amazing shows. We have all that, so much more, just a few minutes, so stay with us.
Well, if there's one thing we've learned during this pandemic, it's that having paper or plastic products, not a guarantee. And that's why more and more people have been switching to more sustainable alternatives to household necessities. But how do you get started? Well, for that, we went to an expert. And right now, I want to welcome Sarah Heitkemper, the woman behind Etc. by Sarah and Sustainable Accessories. Thanks so much for talking to us, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, first, why is swapping out plastic something you're just passionate about?
It's something that I've always been told was a good thing to do, and I didn't really know why exactly I was doing it until I watched this documentary maybe a year ago, and it said that there's over 300 million tons of plastic produced, 50% is single use, and only 9% is actually recycled. So that really got me on my start.
All All right, you swapped out plastic bags first. Talk about what you use instead.
Sure. So about a year ago, we made the swap to stasher bags. So you can put them in the dishwasher, you can reuse them however many times, you can microwave them, you can put them in the oven, on the stovetop. There's all different sizes. My husband and I realized we went through like 60 plus Ziploc bags a month. So it's been a really good swap.
Plastic straws are another common thing you can swap. Tell us how.
So my favorite are these ones from Paquetto, if I'm saying that correctly. They're glass and it comes in a pack of 4. I like it because it doesn't give the metallic-y taste that the stainless steel do. So they're glass and you can dishwash them or wash them in the sink or wherever really, and it doesn't really have an aftertaste. And they come in a carrying case as well. So it's really easy to just throw it in your bag and remember to take it out when you're at the store or a coffee shop or wherever really.
What about plastic wrap? What's a more eco-friendly swap?
So the one that we found that we liked the most is the bees wrap. It's just like, it's a cotton material and then there's beeswax over it and it kind of fits to different things. So you hand wash it, but you can put it in the refrigerator and I think it's supposed to last like 365 days.
Okay, this is a huge one in my house. Plastic grocery bags. What can I do about those?
Yeah, so through the years I've had a hard time finding a good swap just because they usually break or rip or tear and I forget them all the time, or used to. So these come in like a little carrying pouch and you can easily just fold them up and put them in your bag like with anything else, and they hold 50 pounds. So they're pretty big and they have cool patterns and I really like these. They're Bagu is the brand.
You have some other suggestions and products that people might be interested in. So how can they connect with you?
My Instagram page is etc. by Sarah. So it's ETC by Sarah. And then my blog is the same. So it's etcbysarah.com.
Okay, Sarah, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
The writer Jane Austen once said, "Without music, life would be a blank to me." Well, today we want to make your life feel full with a very talented musician. And this morning I want to welcome back the sax man himself, Ed Thomas. Ed, good morning. Glad to have you back.
Good morning, Clyde. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, we got a lot to cover, so just briefly so that everybody understands, tell us a little bit about how you got started with the sax.
Okay, I actually started in 13 years old in the 7th grade at Mary Junior High School here in Cincinnati. So I played in the beginning band there, went on to Hughes High School and played in the marching band, and the rest is history.
Another outstanding CPS graduate. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff you've got going on this summer, a virtual concert series. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Clyde, I decided to do a virtual concert series beginning this coming Friday, the 31st of July, and every Friday, last Friday of the month for July, August, and September, I'll be doing live concerts, virtual concerts, I should say. But they're going to be, we're going to be supporting nonprofit organizations for each one, and it's going to be a different organization for each concert. So all the tips and donations that people provide will go to that organization. So this Friday, we're going to support Rosemary's Babies. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I can tell you a little bit about them. Rosemary Babies support teen parents, basically. And so we'll have more information about that. You know, I'm sure you have that in your write-up there. But we're also going to support the Urban League on the last Friday of August.
Okay.
And then so now here's a good one right here. We're looking for an organization, nonprofit organization for September. So if any of your listening audience would like to have Ed Sax Thomas come and play for them, and all the donations and contributions go to that organization, we would love to have them. So all they have to do is go to my website, edsaxthomas.com, and submit their organization name, and we're going to do a drawing.
You know what, Ed? You're a one-man marketing machine. I got to tell you, you do a great job. So look, let's cut to the chase. Say what? I'm sorry?
I retired from Procter & Gamble. So.
Okay, well, see, it pays off. Before we go, we want to give people a little sample of what they can expect when they tune in. We've had that on the screen, so folks know how to get to you now. So give us a minute of one of the pieces that people will hear.
Okay. This is called Quarantine Nights.
All right. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for watching Cincy Lifestyle today. We appreciate it. For Clyde and I, you've got to reach out to us. We want to see and hear what you're thinking, what's on your mind. Some of the best ideas actually come from you. And so thank you for watching. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, and we hope that you will make this Tuesday a great day.
Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. Now, if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, be sure to make it a great day.